Hi, Wolfpack fans. I'm Jeff Grabley.
I'm Tony Haynes.
And I'm Matt Chasnow.
And this is Pulse of the Pack. I'm Tony Haynes along with Matt Chasnow. We're going to talk some hoops. Guess what happens this weekend, though? I love it. I'm very excited. I don't know how cold it's going to be or warm, but baseball season starts for NC State.
It's another fun time of year. You get the crossover. You crossover, and I mean that in a good way, right?
Fordham's going to be in. Now, you have a little factoid concerning Fordham baseball that I wasn't aware of. And it's going to help me in my preparation because I got to do the radio broadcast on Sunday. Tell me about Fordham baseball.
The winningest college baseball program ever, all time.
That's what they say.
That's what they say.
Okay.
They claim 164 seasons played. They're not a recent national power. They're number one. Texas is number two with 128 seasons played. So Fordham basically, for 40 years, was playing baseball when others weren't. We're racking up W's. They have 900 more wins than the number two team, the Texas Longhorns.
So Fordham's produced a lot of baseball wins and some really talented sportscasters.
One of your favorites, Mike Breen.
Mike Breen, Michael Kay, who does the Yankee games on
Michael Kay, buddy of mine, Mike Yam on the NFL Network. He's a Fordham guy. Dan Duva, who does the Golden Knights in Las Vegas, is a Fordham guy. Mm-hmm. They have a great communications program in the Bronx, near the zoo.
The Bronx.
If you go to the Bronx Zoo, you could stop by maybe a Fordham basketball game. Neat little basketball gym.
Well, I guess in the Bronx they got the winningest college program and the winningest major league
now we're talking.
Program, right?
Now we're talking.
So, NC State baseball coming off an appearance in the College World Series. In fact, that team's going to be honored in a ceremony on Thursday night coming up. So that's a good way to start the season for Coach Avent and his baseball team as they get cranked up against Fordham. NC State trying to move on from a West Coast trip. It was a long trip. There was a big-time hangover in terms of jet lag for all of us. In fact, we normally record Coach Keith's radio show on Monday mornings, and regardless of what happened over the weekend, he usually comes in full of energy, ready to move on to the next thing. But even Coach Keith's an energetic guy like him. He's not immune from little red-eye jet lag, and that was about as tired as I've seen him when he comes in to do the radio show. Because that usually belongs to me, the guy that shows up and is always tired. But I think we were all kind of run down after that long week and that trip to California.
And full credit to Coach Keats. He had a prior engagement that morning, so he had to get up extra early. There's a limit to all of our effervescence at points, I suppose, and yeah, it was a long way, 2,800 miles west and a week out there in the Bay Area.
We're going to call this the red-eye version of the show, maybe the jet lag portion of the show, because NC State had that tough 1-point loss out at Stanford on Saturday night and then had to fly all the way across the country. Thank goodness had a 2-hour tailwind. Pat got in on the ground about 3:30 in the morning, but I don't know about you guys. I felt pretty worthless yesterday. Coach, how'd you handle that jet lag?
You know what? You had to deal with it. And, it wasn't a bad day. And just, I'm blessed that we got back because there was a small chance that we were not going to be able to fly into Raleigh because of fog, and we were going to have to go out, Charlotte Concord to be able to fly in. And I'm just glad that didn't happen,
I got a new guy question then. Is that a thing? Is fog in Raleigh a common occurrence to stop a flight?
Can happen.
Not sure, but I can tell you now, if they tell me that there's any reason why we can't land, we're going to wherever they say.
For sure, absolutely.
There's not going to be any arguments on it, I can tell you that.
So, West Coast trip, unusual. You're there from Monday through Saturday. Obviously, everybody has to get adjusted to the time difference. In terms of trying to create a sense of normalcy and creating routines, is it a challenge?
Well, you're talking about on the way out or coming back?
Well, just being out there for a week.
Well, it is. I mean, it's a long trip, and, you have to change because everything's different. And, you're thinking about this, you're playing a game, what was it, Cal? It would have been, 11 o'clock here?
Yeah, 11 o'clock tip Eastern.
Even though you get out there on Monday night, but still it's Wednesday, and you're thinking about, all right, it's 11 o'clock. How many times do you play? So, yes, it's an adjustment.
How about the rest of Trey Parker's performance in Maples? That was probably his best game. I mean, he played well against Duke on the road, but he's emerged here over the last 3-4 weeks, hasn't he?
Excited about, how he's playing, and hopefully that he continues to play the way he did. He's done a really good job, and, he's getting better. He's working hard and putting in the work, and, obviously we need, someone to be able to, he's the one guy that could probably get his own shot and then create for others, and that's what I like. Yeah.
I was trying to come up with a word that might best describe Parker, and fearless was the word that kind of popped into my head. Is going back to your days recruiting him, has he always had a certain amount of swag to him and confidence?
Yeah, and his day-to-day, the way he goes about day-to-day is starting to become more consistent. Typical freshman stuff, play well, then, may not feel well. And a lot of that is actually how your body feels in February when you're playing, a long season of basketball. But we like the fact that he could guard the ball. I love the fact that he can play one and two. He's a combo guard that can score the ball, and you can move him off the basketball. And so when we saw that, we loved his speed, obviously his athletic ability, and he's really starting to make a few shots, which is really good. That wasn't his calling card coming out of OTE as a shooter, but he's put a lot of work in to be able to make those shots.
Pulse of the Pack is sponsored in part by Coca-Cola. Crisp, refreshing, and irresistibly tasty. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
It's Truck Month with the Ford Crew.
It's time for the best deals across the full lineup. F-Series, the best-selling trucks for 48 years. We've got Maverick and the North American 2025 Truck of the Year, Ford Ranger, fully prepared.
Did you sleep here last night?
If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready.
And this crew is Truck Month ready.
Now get 3.9% for 60 plus up to $11,624 in total savings on select F-150s only at your Carolina Ford dealer.
Security. Identify yourself.
From protecting your teeth and gums, to restoring your smile, to sponsoring your local team, Tar Heel Periodontics is the premier periodontal practice of the Triangle community. Our team of highly skilled doctors provide dental care as individual as you are, working with you to build a personalized treatment plan to create the beautiful, healthy smile of your dreams. With offices conveniently located across the Triangle and Central North Carolina, you're never far from the Tar Heel Periodontics family. Visit our website or call now.
This segment of Pulse of the Pack is presented by Coca-Cola.
Trey Parker, in his first half, he was scoring the ball. He had all the threes, but he comes out in the second half, and he has 5 assists. He was setting up his teammates. Is that a delicate balance there for a younger point guard, kind of understanding that, yeah, you want to score, but you also got to make sure you get your guys involved?
Yeah, it's really, and it's all a learning process because, you got to figure out, all right, what's the balancing act between you scoring the ball. Point guards, I like them when they can have a great feel. Like, hey, we need to get somebody else involved, someone else to score, or here, we need a basket. I got to try to help get us a basket.
And they had to create their own energy in those venues at Cal and Stanford. And you warned me about that because you used to broadcast before you got here. You were at Washington State, and you used to go with their basketball team down to Cal and Stanford. The passion for basketball in those buildings, let's face it, it's not the same. And when we were flying back from Stanford, I reminded myself, hey, don't take for granted what we have here. Living in a hotbed for college basketball. It truly is unique, especially in our localized area, in the Triangle. You got NC State, Duke, North Carolina. You got 3 programs within 30 miles of each other. that have multiple national championships, incredible basketball tradition. And it shows up when you go to the arenas, whether it's at NC State, Smith Center, Cameron Indoor Stadium. It's a different level of energy, and you appreciate it more and more when you go to Cal and Stanford. And this is not a criticism of their fans. It's just that college basketball is not number one in those places. And those buildings were, let's face it, they were pretty dead for conference games.
Those fan bases would say that themselves, and there is nothing like this area of the country for what we do. There's nothing like it. Decades and decades of the best history going back to when the building that we're in here right now was popping, right? And still is for women's basketball. The men have moved on to Lenovo. But listen, there's nothing like it layered on top of each other geographically, the nationally relevant histories, all the storylines.
Yeah, Trey Parker, exciting prospect, I think. You know, he especially when he gets it going from three-point range as he did out there at Stanford. And I enjoyed his second half just as much because he really became a point guard. He got his teammates involved. He had 5 assists after halftime. Really made some nice plays on the pick and roll to Ish Diouf to get him some easy baskets. And Parker he's fearless. And for a young guy, he shows no signs that his confidence is ever going to be rattled. And I think that bodes well for his future.
Trey Parker's figuring it out. He's got double-figure games, and 2 in the last 4. Almost 3 of the last 4. He had 9 points in Berkeley. He had 15 at Duke, right? That was the breakout game, and hit a bunch of threes. But he was 5 of 8 from 3 at Stanford, right? Played 27 minutes. That's a career high. So I think we're seeing a freshman blossom here late in the year, a true freshman, a kid who's got all the athletic ability, who started against BYU in San Diego. So Coach Keats was giving him an early boost into the starting lineup, got pulled pretty early from that game, and he's been figuring it out since. And we might see him have a really nice February here. I hope we do.
And maybe Ishmael Diouf, too, is going to benefit from this extra playing time. Of course, Brandon Huntley-Hatfield has not played the last few times out. He didn't even make the trip to California. So NC State right now has only 2 big guys. You got Ben Middlebrooks and Ish. And unfortunately for the Pack, Ben Middlebrooks continued to spend a lot of time on the bench because he's getting himself in foul trouble. I mean, every game seems to be the same. He picks up his first one 2 minutes in, and then with about 12 or 11 minutes to go in the first half, he picks up foul number 2, and then he has to go sit for the rest of the half.
Do some players get reputations amongst officials? Like Ben Middlebrooks has had a lot of fouls called against him, and some of them were more obvious than others. Some of them were not obvious fouls. Do some guys get a reputation for being foul prone and then get whistles go against him? Do you think they talk?
Well, I do, but, Ben's got to stay in the games, and his is becoming a common theme, that he's been in foul trouble, and he has to make the adjustment to that.
Yeah, he seems like a marked man, though. He's getting some tough calls. Yeah.
Well, he is, but, you got to adjust to some of that. Some of the games you can say, yeah, we got to make the adjustment. He's got to make the adjustment, but it's happened like 4, 5, 6 times.
Yeah.
And so, it's probably a balancing act between both.
I've been writing the same thing down for, like you said, Coach, 4 or 5 consecutive games where he's got to sit with 11, 12, 10 minutes to go in the first half. Changes your team, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It changes us. And, and I thought Ish did a really good job for us. Ish came in, and I thought he played some really good basketball. And, obviously you can make an argument that he had a really better week than Ben because of the fact that he was able to play.
Let's talk about Ish Diouf a little bit. He's getting more minutes here. No Brandon Huntley-Hatfield on the trip. Ish is out there. He's very obviously ball skilled, right? He's a pick and pop 4-man, 5-man, right? And he's a lefty shooter. But he seems to be getting more comfortable. Do you agree with that? Do you feel like it's slowing down a bit for him as his minutes have gone up?
I do, and I think his confidence is growing. It's just struggled early with confidence, and I think these 2 games, him playing as much as he had to play, I think it's really helped him.
From where he came from, Lowell College, a small school, and then Montreal, where he was, how much of a jump has he had to make in terms of quality of opposition? Has he played against guys this good? Has he had experience at this level previously, prior to here, to try to prepare?
I think the biggest thing that he's had to adjust to is the physicality of the game, meaning, more, where when he played was more pick and pop opportunities, and not a lot of guys. I mean, he's playing against 7'1" in the post, and then you look at 6'10" against Cal, and so he's playing against bigger, stronger dudes than he usually have to compete against.
You're not going to love this data point.
What's that?
But it is a data point.
The luck rankings?
The luck rankings. So Ken Palm, we've talked about this a little bit. You're less lucky than you were last time we talked. You were 10th least lucky in the nation. You're now the 5th least lucky team out of 364 in the country.
Is that a real thing?
It is a real thing. Oh, look here. Take a peek. So what it really is, the way they calculate it, they look at your offensive and your defensive output. They call it efficiencies. Your defense and your offense are way higher. You've played better than you would think your record would be. And it's just been an unlucky year.
There you go. The man's got jet lag. He lost a 1-point game, and now you're going over his luck factor.
Well, he said the word. So
I apologize. Ken, I apologize.
Mr. Wolf, you're all set. Complete perimeter protection installed and monitored 24/7.
No matter who you root for, we can all identify with the best in smart home security. CPI Security is the official security and smart home company of NC State Athletics. CPI Security. Identify yourself.
It's Truck Month with the Ford Crew.
It's time for the best deals across the full lineup. F-Series, the best-selling trucks for 48 years. We've got Maverick and the North American 2025 Truck of the Year, Ford Ranger, fully prepared.
Did you sleep here last night?
If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready.
And this crew is Truck Month ready.
Now get 3.9% for 60 plus up to $11,624 in total savings on select F-150s only at your Carolina Ford dealer.
From protecting your teeth and gums, to restoring your smile, to sponsoring your local team, Tar Heel Periodontics is the premier periodontal practice of the Triangle community. Our team of highly skilled doctors provide dental care as individual as you are, working with you to build a personalized treatment plan to create the beautiful, healthy smile of your dreams. With offices conveniently located across the Triangle and Central North Carolina, you're never far from the Tar Heel Periodontics family. Visit our website or call now.
My time here has been incredible. Challenging.
Jaden Thomas coming off the knee injury from last year.
But so rewarding.
We can talk about Jaden Thomas all day long, but what she provides from a security standpoint, a vision standpoint, both offensively and defensively, and at the end of the day, just a maturity standpoint, as a 6-year senior, really just her value. It's exciting to see her back for the Wolfpack for sure.
I think you just go full speed ahead.
That's hype. I don't think I'm doing that. I have rehab. I have a lot. I have Luke today. PT. Yeah.
Luke and then walking?
It'll probably be like walking with Luke, I'm sure. I came here early because I have to like get warmed up first. When I do my rehab, I'm still in pain, but like during the day, I'm able to like rest and relax. Like it doesn't hurt.
How long are you still in crutches?
Like 2 weeks. Well, next Thursday.
How long has it been? 4?
It's been 5.
Hold on, you have to be now we're doing 7?
6.
Okay.
But if you count like the 2 weeks that I was on crutches before surgery, this is like week 7. But next Thursday, I'll walk with the crutches. And then Caroline said it takes like 4 days to get off the crutches completely.
Putting weight on it with the crutches to then.
Yep.
I'm happy for you.
Thank you. This time, like in 2 weeks, I should be crush free.
Exactly. We're almost there. It's close. It's fine.
It's been so long, but I got here in 2019 spring. I early enrolled. I was 17 years old. I don't even really hardly remember like that first semester, but the second semester was the first season that I ever played in, and I was so scared, I think. I just remember like looking up to the seniors so much, like Kia and Z, and just thinking that they were amazing and kind of the people that I wanted to follow.
Like try it just here. Like stick it and then sink, yeah, and push off, yep. Because that's what's gonna use that quad. There we go. Good. Otherwise you're just really relying on that cap to get you. So sink and use your quad and the glute.
It hurts.
Yep.
Hurts way more when I do that.
The VMO?
Yeah. Ow.
Right here.
Yeah. This is the weirdest one.
Yeah, I know. This is also though, like, we have to clean that up to get our run top speed. So really, like, you really kick up. Especially when you're sprinting, like if you watch film from before, like you do, you have a high kick. So when we start, we're not there yet. When we start to get you to your top speeds, we want to make sure this is there. So butt kicks down, high kick, high, or you know what I'm saying.
High knees down?
Yeah,
butt kicks down. Pick it up though?
Yep. Good.
Good. Good.
She's got a smile on her face. Yeah, that does.
I'm tired though.
Yeah, it's alright. Well done. I like that a lot. Last and best one.
No.
Done.
My quads.
Yeah, I know. These are gonna, what we're gonna do going forward is gonna be hard. But we're gonna start cutting, we're gonna start changing direction, we're gonna start playing goals, receiving goals, being reactionary. That's fun. It was a great first day. It was a great first day. Woo! That's right.
Well, getting involved in the different organizations that I'm involved in has made me really passionate about athletics and collegiate athletics, and so I've decided that that's something that I think I want to pursue a career in. And there's so many people at NC State that want to help all athletes, but were especially really helpful with me in building my career and my goals. And I mean, there's just so many resources available here, and I try to utilize all that I could, and I feel super confident that whatever I do, I'm going to be really great at. And I have people that are here to support me throughout the way that I feel like I can just call whenever I need help.
A new season begins tonight in Raleigh, an in-state matchup. NC State hosting Appalachian State here at the Dale Soccer Stadium as we kick off the 2024 women's soccer season. And the first touch for Thomas, a player that, Michaela, you played with.
Yeah.
Missed all of last year due to the injury. You see her with the right knee sleeve, her 6th season in college. She was planning for last year to be her last, but after the preseason injury, she said, no, I'm gonna stick around, come back for one more. It is a big impact for NC State to have her back out there.
Yeah, it's a very long anticipated return for her, and you know, it's great to see her healthy again, playing again. She's such an asset to NC State on and off the field. Off the field really as a leader, but on the field even more so. She just adds so much that you can't really describe in words. So I know that they're very, very happy to have her back this year.
Warner on the one touch, Wake with a save, and the finish for the Wolfpack. Jaden Thomas, the beneficiary for 2-0 lead.
I would just like to say thank you to everyone at NC State that has helped me grow into the person that I am today. I would not be here without the incredible support from everyone here at NC State, whether it's on the academic side, it's in the head offices, the athletic directors, sports medicine, whoever it is, like, you guys are all incredible. And so I wouldn't be here without you guys.
Pulse of the Pack is sponsored in part by Carolina Ford Dealers. See your Carolina Ford dealer, proud sponsor of NC State Athletics.
It's Truck Month with the Ford Crew.
It's time for the best deals across the full lineup. F-Series, the best-selling trucks for 48 years. We've got Maverick and the North American 2025 Truck of the Year, Ford Ranger, fully prepared.
Did you sleep here last night?
If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready.
And this crew is Truck Month ready.
Now get 3.9% for 60 plus up to $11,624 in total savings on select F-150s only at your Carolina Ford dealer.
All right, Mr. Wolf, you're all set. Complete perimeter protection installed and monitored 24/7.
No matter who you root for, we can all identify with the best in smart home security. CPI Security is the official security and smart home company of NC State Athletics. CPI Security. Identify yourself.
From protecting your teeth and gums, to restoring your smile, to sponsoring your local team, Tar Heel Periodontics is the premier periodontal practice of the Triangle community. Our team of highly skilled doctors provide dental care as individual as you are, working with you to build a personalized treatment plan to create the beautiful, healthy smile of your dreams. With offices conveniently located across the Triangle and Central North Carolina, you're never far from the Tar Heel Periodontics family. Visit our website or call now.
Pulse of the Pack is sponsored in part by Coca-Cola. Crisp, refreshing, and irresistibly tasty. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Coach Keats on the radio show on Monday, I thought he made a little news because I asked him, Mike James did go on the trip.
Yep.
And he was involved in some segments of practice. They just want to kind of see what he can do. But, I asked him the question, so is Mike James any closer to returning? And he said, we're going to have to make a decision on that.
Yeah.
And he said it could come as early as this week.
Well, it's time. I mean, it's February 11th as we're taping this and talking right now. Mike James was an important portal get, arguably the portal get for the team, arguably. One of the leading scorers for Louisville last year, was probably expected to be a double-figure scorer this year, a guy that we were really excited to see play with Dontrez Styles on the wing. If you put Dontrez at the 4 and Marcus Hill and Mike James, you've just got a lot more options. Jaden Taylor, we talked a lot about that through the year. And he is getting better. He had a knee issue earlier this year, and they've been working on it, and he was with the team. And if you're going to medical redshirt, if you're not, what are you going to do next year? What do you want to do this year? The record's not great. How high are the heights this year? All of the macro considerations for him, his health, his well-being, his future plans, NC State's future plans, they're going to need to be considered. Now's the time.
Okay, we might get some news on that here soon. We'll just wait and see. Let's wrap it up. He's Chaz. I'm Tony Haynes.